Hello, listeners. I know things are a mess right now. The government is trash. Mother Earth has had it. And the finale of The White Lotus has us in our feelings. I have found solace in creating this podcast to help with the helplessness that I feel. I have to remind myself that I can only do what I can do and be present in this very moment. Okay, wait, it's giving Deepak Oprah. No, but really, it's okay to not be okay. Do what you have to do to make it through the day. Go for a walk, call a friend, listen to a podcast, and try to take it easy on yourself and others. We are all here to love and be loved, and we have to start somewhere. So why not start with yourself? Okay, wait, am I Indigenous Oprah? Am I Indian Oprah? Oh, wait. Okay. Back to the show. All right, on this episode, I speak with my Quechua queen, Elena Soledad. We discuss her adoption story, creating legacy for our descendants, and being big, beautiful women, aka the BBW girls, say what needs to be said. Enjoy this episode, and we'll see you soon, cousins. Howay, relatives, and welcome back to Let's Have a Powwow podcast. I am your host, Amy Farid, and on the pod today, we have this gorgeous woman sitting next to me. She is a model. She is a jewelry designer, a mother, and an influencer. She's giving influencer. Cousins, please welcome Elena Soledad. Applause, everyone. Yeah.
Per for the Spanish.
Okay, Elena Soledad. Okay, so you're living for my pronunciation.
I'm living for your pronunciation.
Okay, because I catfish in Spanish. And
Me too.
I get clocked. They clock my T because after I say carnitas tacos, then they start.
They be trying with the whole conversation.
The whole thing.
But Spanish isn't my first language either. So, and I just be trying to get it. And then they hablar to me real fast, right? And it's too much. It's too much. I just look the part.
Pero like, lo siento. I'm sorry.
Right, like I just look the part. That's it. After that, hablaring with me is not your friend.
Okay, because I was like, I'm trash, but I'm gonna try to say Elena, because also that name is so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
It's a movie star name. Elena Soledad.
Oh, wow. So actually,
it rolls off the tongue, honey.
It's Soledad is my first birth name. So that's how I honor my roots, is by using the name that was given to me at birth, which is Soledad. And then Elena is my name when I came to the States.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's my two first names.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of, you are so captivating on Instagram.
Thank you.
I love watching your stories. I love hearing you speak. I love watching you speak. And you recently went on a trip to Peru.
Yes.
And I want to speak about that, but I want to talk about how Elena got from Peru to Brooklyn. And are you cool sharing that story?
Absolutely. It's one that I actually really much love to share.
Oh, so, okay.
Totally down.
Okay, that's amazing. So I just want to ask you, how did you get from Peru to Brooklyn?
So it's going to be a little bit of history. Not too much into Peru's economic situation, but basically my biological mother, my birth mother, my first mother, she was unable to take care of me. I was adopted in 1990 during a time of Peru's big economic crisis, state-sanctioned violence, and just an all-around terrorism on indigenous women, specifically Andean women, Quechua-speaking women. And My birth mom was...
Quechua is the indigenous people
Yes.
of... Yes.
At least for... There's over 300 tribes, but
Yes.
for my people, yeah, Quechua. So that's... I guess I should say that I'm a Quechua woman with Aymara
queen. And my Peruvian princess.
Aymara ancestry. But yeah, my family is from Puno, Peru. But I was born in Lima. But my birth mom always say, we don't claim being limeña. We are proud puneñas. So
Lima is like the big city.
Yes, Lima is a big city where a lot of people travel to find work.
Yes. Like New York.
Like New York.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Come here. Yes.
And so she already had 3 kids, sorry. My brother before me was also adopted. So I was the second kid adopted. She just really couldn't afford it. The government was not providing resources. And there was a woman who was going around to different women asking them, there's a good place that you can give up your children to. Adoption is this whole industry, right? It's its whole industry. With so many different stories that come into this, and to respect my mom and her choices. I don't like to say that adoption was her choice because due to circumstances and lack of resources, it wasn't a full choice.
Yeah, out of her control.
Out of her control choice, I will always say. Yes. It was something that she had to do.
Yeah.
I couldn't go with any aunts. I couldn't go with my birth father, who was abusive to her, and it just wasn't an option.
Yeah.
So I want to respect her in saying that this was the best decision she could find for me.
Yes.
And my mom here, my adoptive mom, she couldn't have children. So she's actually Jewish. And her family was survivors of the Holocaust.
Okay.
Well, wait, I think I said that. I think it's my dad's side. Sorry, switching the sides. My mom's side, their family was wiped out by the Holocaust. And from what I'm told, and I kind of want to fact check this, but I think that there was something within a lot of relatives on her side that could not get pregnant because of things that they had endured genetically. So she was one of the few that was unable to get pregnant of her 3 sisters.
Wow.
And she really wanted a baby. Who knows? I mean, we've had conversations where she'll say maybe it was a little fetishization, but I just really wanted a baby.
White Jewish?
Yeah,
Brooklyn
white Jewish.
People?
My mom is from Ohio, but my dad is also a white Jewish man. But he will tell you, he's like, I'm from Canarsie Projects.
Yes.
I'm from Brooklyn. He still has the thick accent.
Love.
So, yeah. But my mom left the Midwest because she was like, I did not agree with what they were teaching me out there. And she was like,
same. That's why I left.
Yeah. She was like, I didn't agree with the teachings from the Jewish temple. I had to leave.
Yeah.
So she came to New York when she was 21, I think.
Oh, same as me.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. And so she's been here ever since. But my mom is just an all around amazing person. And I want to kind of bring it back to the adoption of I know there's so many stories out there of people hating being adopted. And don't get me wrong, I have been back and forth on that subject so my entire life. There's days where I understand it, and there's days where I really don't.
Yeah.
Do I think it's wrong? Absolutely. Do I think it is basically kidnapping children? Absolutely. But I also think that for my particular story, I think I got, and I don't like to say this word very much because in the adoption world, there's you don't say grateful or blessed or thankful because it kind of gives this aura that what happened to me is okay, right?
Right.
But I really got adopted to an amazing mother.
Yes.
And I grew to the person who I am today with her guiding me, learning out life on my own.
Yes.
And then my birth mom in Peru, she's amazing as well. I'm the person I am today because I grew up here.
Did your adopted mother stay in contact, or did you have to find your birth mother? Were they trying to feel like we don't know her anymore?
So
like, was there drama?
There was no drama, but like my mom tried to keep in contact with my birth mom. Let's give them names because I feel.
Thank you.
Let's give them names. My adoptive mother is Deborah, and Deborah does not play about me. Okay, no. She does not play about me. I
had to go through.
Yeah, she had to go through a lot, and I think she was also doing IVF for like 4 years before she even got me. Yeah,
we love Debbie.
Yeah, Deborah is that girl.
Yes.
And then my birth mother, her name is Zoila.
Gorgeous.
Zoila. Oh. But her nickname was Soledad. Sole for short. So that's why my name was Soledad. But yeah, so Zoila, I don't remember what I was saying.
Zoila and Deborah.
Okay, so they were
in contact.
They were not. They were in contact. And somewhat.
So there was like a middleman for the adoptive.
There was. Yeah, we found a lawyer. Some, not all. The adoption ranges from people like forging signatures, literally kidnapping children. Like, I'll take care of your baby, and then never returning the baby, or just straight up being like, I'm taking your kid in the middle of the night while you're sleeping. Yeah, there's so many ways that we got here.
Yeah.
So my story doesn't tell for all adopted children's stories, but this is how mine worked out.
Yeah.
But there was a lawyer, and I was a badass kid. Oh my gosh, can I curse on here?
Oh my god, bitch, of course.
Bitch, shit. I was a badass kid. Right. I was a badass kid.
Badass bitch.
I was the kid that grew up like confused as fuck. Like
you grew up bad as fuck in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn, yes. And
because you were how old when you?
I was a baby. I was a baby. I think I came to the States when I was like 5 months old.
Okay, so the adoptive agent, whoever hooked up Deborah with your mom back home in Peru, and then signed the papers. So there's actually really they met.
They've met. They met when I was a baby.
Back then.
Yeah, back then. There's a picture of all of us. Yeah. And it's actually really funny. My adoption took a little bit longer, and my parents love telling the story that because my birth mom, Zoila, she's so beautiful that literally the judge was trying to talk to her and trying to prolong the process.
The whole thing. Like, baby.
And then she was like, oh, I'll go on a date with you if you sign these documents. Like, so...
Bitch, take care of me and my baby. What's it giving?
So, and then what I just recently found out 5 years ago was that she got no money from the adoption. So I don't know. There's like a little bit of agreement. There's there was supposed to be some sort of agreement, but I'm not sure. There's like so many different versions, and 30 some odd years have passed. So I'm sure everybody doesn't remember exact details, or maybe somebody didn't tell. Yeah. Somebody didn't tell somebody. That's what I think.
Oh yeah.
Of course. And so, but
especially when a country's in
financial crisis. Yeah, absolutely.
People are hustling kids. I mean, we're talking about literal kids, like soliciting and selling of children.
My mom tells me that, my adopted mom, Deborah, tells me that there was times she would walk around with me outside with the stroller, and they'd be like, oh, she's going to sell that baby for parts. Like, they believed why children were being adopted from Peru was so that people here would sell the babies for parts. Yeah, so it was a huge thing.
Like organs?
Like organs.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It is really so dark. The adoption
industry is just...
It is really
problematic.
Dark.
And it's really sad, and, but...
So
they met at that time, and in Lima. And I think my mom, Deborah, felt she's a really good person. Like, her core is so good.
Yes.
The government, and the government gave women, indigenous women, Andean women, little 10 by 10, about the size of this, like about space for a family of however many kids you had, just to get them off the streets, right? Just so it wouldn't shake up the, what do you call it? The tourism.
Oh,
so they didn't want
disrupt.
They didn't want to disrupt tourism. So they were like, we'll give you like these little houses, like little huts.
So you're not on the streets begging and like freaking the Americans out and the Europeans out. Of course. Yeah.
And my mom was like, I couldn't stand to see that. So I bought her a bed. Right. And she was like, I have to buy her a bed. And she thought, I don't know if she thought there was going to be money exchange for Zoila, but yeah, she she was like, as I reflect on it now, she's like, I wanted a baby, and I couldn't have a baby, and she couldn't keep her baby. So it's like such an interchanging of energies.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're
Between
both
two women,
like two women with a full understanding of like what is happening. Because remember, I'm the second kid that's adopted. Like my older brother was adopted too.
Wow.
So that's kind of the story of how I got here. But yeah, when I was like 15, 14, acting out, my Deborah was like, I feel like a lot of this has to do with your adoption. So she found Deborah is like that girl. I love you.
So lucky to have a mother like that.
Yeah.
Who kind of was like, what's the root? Why is she? And
who asked why, not just like, how do I punish her for being bad?
And wasn't trying to keep you from knowing your mother.
Yeah.
Your
And my dad also was, my parents are one of those people. I think it also is because they live in New York City, that they are surrounded by so much culture that my dad would always do research on Peru, and so would my mom, and they would be like, we think you're Aymara, but I don't know.
What's that mean?
Aymara is another tribe, another nation of people. In Peru and Bolivia, predominantly there. And that is, I have Aymara ancestry, based on where like my family's from and stuff. But it was it was a lot.
So Deborah was like, you're acting out. We need to get you back to...
We need to get you to figure it out.
The root of the problem, which was your adoptive. And did you agree with that? Were you like...
I said, well, when you're 15, you hold all this anger, right? Like we're all angry at 15, like listen, and then you start to pay bills and you're like, what was I angry for?
No, okay, we're both mothers.
Yeah.
I understand everything my mother... why she was upset, why she was short with me, why she was over these damn kids. Honey, I'm there, Mommy. I see you. Thank you. I love you.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. So 14 acting out.
Yes. And then 6 months later, I was in Peru. They booked me a trip. We went with this thing.
They found your mother.
They found her.
They always kept in touch? Or
no, but I think they never always kept in touch, but I think she was just, and this is why I say, like, I have been blessed. Like, my mom, Deborah, really was like, put herself as a mother. I'm about to cry. As a mother.
I cry every episode.
I cannot imagine what it takes to be so selfless and, like, allow your kid to call somebody else mom. Like, I think I would perish.
No, but
if Hannah was to call somebody,
someone, you see them hurting, all you want is for them to be.
Yeah. But it's I can't even imagine Hannah calling someone else mom. I would, like I said, I would perish. I would just go no one else is your mom but me. So to have that sense of awareness and selflessness, to be able to say my daughter needs this. How do I get this for her? And then like that, you found it. Okay.
You get down to Peru. Mm-hmm. You guys are volunteering.
Mm-hmm. We're volunteering at an orphanage through a program called Global Volunteers. And my parents use that, I think, as a buffer, just in case anything happened with meeting my birth family. Meaning, like, maybe my birth mom didn't want to meet me. Maybe Sola just had like second guesses or
nerves,
whatever. And that's totally fine.
Yes, normal.
But so we volunteered for 1 week, but before that, we actually traveled throughout Peru. So I traveled from Lima to Ica to different parts of. We went to Arequipa, then we went to Cusco, and then we went to Puno, and then we came back up. So we got to visit a lot, and then the program started the next week. So we volunteered for a week with other adoptees. Actually, that program had so many other Peruvian adoptees that. We're also volunteering.
How was that? Was that...
Wow. So here's the thing with a lot of... We can get into this a little after, but a lot of community here, sometimes I feel like don't look like me.
Yeah.
And then to see... So like, brown skin, especially being plus size.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like a lot of them don't look like me here. But then to see these other Andean kids, I was like, I I say Peruvian because it's just so much easier for people to understand where that is on a map.
Yeah.
But I'm Andean.
Yes.
So, and so are these kids. And it was so nice to see like other brown skinned kids. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is my best life.
Yes.
But yeah, so anyway, so we do the volunteering, which is problematic, like I said, because I just feel like you're doing a disservice to the kids that you're volunteering with. They get attached to you. They call you mi visita, like my visitor. And then you have to leave. So it's like
that's heart-wrenching.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know if I could ever do it again. Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, so that week, we told the program director what was happening, or the person who was like staying with us there. And she was like, oh, I'll make arrangements for her to come to the hotel. Because she was like from there. She was from Peru. And so all of a sudden we were in I think we got I don't know if it was called an Airbnb, but like the equivalent to Airbnb. We rented somebody's apartment out. And my family came in, and when I tell you, I was so nervous, but I remember telling myself, like, they're just people and they're just strangers. Remember, she didn't want you. Like, that's all that kept playing in my head.
Teenage brain.
Right. It was so stupid. Because now we have such a great relationship. But yeah, the teenager in me was like, she hurt you.
Right.
Like,
yes.
remember, XYZ has happened to you because she gave you up.
Right.
Right. So I didn't really, like, she saw me and she was instantly crying.
Of
course. I was just like, why are you crying? You know, I wasn't crying because my guard is still up. Like, my shell was just there.
Yeah.
Because I did not want to let anybody in. I was so scared. But it turned out I had a little sister, a little brother, and 2 older brothers. And yeah,
and they came to the hotel with you?
I had a niece. Yes, they came with her to the hotel, and they were just, it was like everybody looked like me.
Oh, I love it.
And I was just like,
especially too, growing up with Caucasian parents.
Yeah, and I'm an only child here.
Yeah. And so I'm sure having family gatherings with their family,
and the
you're
thing
like,
is also, I'm not spoiled here. Like, I want to like take that from something, because I feel like a lot of people hear like, oh, she's an only child by Jewish parents, like she must be. I was not spoiled. My parents told me no all the time. Yeah. Like, and it's fine, you know, as a parent, I get it.
Yes.
But I was not spoiled. There was no funding my lifestyle, you know, there was none of that. But yeah, so.
They were like regular parents.
Yeah.
Like normal parents.
My mom was very affectionate with me growing up. But it's something so different about the affection I receive when I'm in Peru.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm alive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Something that you're like yearning for that you didn't even realize. So when you were a teenager, you first met your family, your walls kind of started coming down a little bit more.
A little bit.
And you were open to seeing them.
I was open to seeing them. I was open to creating a relationship with them.
How many days did you see them
I only saw them for like maybe 3 days.
Okay.
Because it was towards the end of the volunteer trip.
Okay.
And after that, I was kind of like, well, why didn't I spend more time with them? But I get it. You know, I get my parents thinking.
It was a good like ease into the thing.
Right.
Because also, sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just going to say the last memory I have from that trip. And again, just to kind of give people like an insight of like what it was to live there at that time. I got really close with all my siblings and my niece. But the last day I was there, my birth mom came to see me off. And, you know, all we run on Indian time, you know?
Yeah.
Like she was late.
Yes.
But she came storming in, and she had cuts on her face. She had just been robbed like the night before. It was like it was not a good place. Like she just got paid. It was Sunday. Sundays are the days that everybody got paid back then. I think they switched now, but back then, and she worked in the market. I guess somebody saw her, and yeah, they cut her. So I remember her coming to say goodbye to me. I'm like, wow, she has like cuts, like slits in her face, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like
Right.
Bye.
Yeah.
Like, so it was such like
That's an eye opener too, because that also helps you with the healing of like, oh, okay, I see a little bit more why
right.
my mother had to make that choice because it's like that bad here.
Yeah,
like you're getting paid to support your family and you can't even do that.
You can't, and you can't even like protect yourself. Right?
Yeah,
and so it was.
So that's an intense.
It was very.
That's an intense journey for a teenager.
And then so after that, like I kind of calmed down a little bit. It's still New York.
Yes,
it's still Brooklyn. Like I was getting into much less trouble, but I definitely calmed down. And then I went back a year and a half later with my best friend back then.
Okay.
We went back. We did the same program. Global Volunteers. But this time I was like, I want to see where she lives. And my sister stayed with us in the hotel room.
Oh.
My brothers were like, no, like, let Ruth is my sister. They were like, let Ruth stay with you, like in the hotel room. It's safer for her there anyway. I wanted to go see where they lived. So she was like, all right, let's get in a cab and I'll take you. The program coordinator was like, I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah. Because where my family lives, it's in the hood, right? And we think of hood in the States. It's a very different hood. Yes. In Peru and in all throughout Ayala, like South America, Latin America, all of it. And I was just like, wow, this is definitely different. Right. We got there. It was like 2 hours. I remember halfway through the ride, the driver got out, took off the taxi sign, the insurance sticker, and he told us take off all our jewelry, put it under the seat. Yeah. And I was like, wow, it must be this bad. Yeah. And then he didn't want to take us all the way. And my sister is like no, you're going to take us all the way. And so she told him, and he did it. But he didn't take us up the mountain. He just kind of left us like kind of at the bottom. Right. And he was like, I'm not going up there. And she was like, that's fine. So we had to walk up, which was fine. Yes. But yeah, there's been a lot of repairs on the house. But my family's home used to be the last home on the top of the hill. Wow. And now there's more buildings there. But
like above your family's house.
Yeah, now
like they built up higher.
They built like I don't know how to explain it. It's like
favela style.
Yeah, but they're not in a building. It's just like a little home, right? But they're not in a concrete building like a lot of people are. Okay, they're still in like I don't even know how to explain it. Like they have tin, right?
Yeah, I've been to Peru and I've seen some homes.
Oh, you've been to Peru, girl?
Yes,
oh my gosh! Why didn't I know this?
We're going to talk about it.
Yeah, let's definitely talk about it. But yeah, so
I know the tin roof moments.
So there's still that. Yes. Even till this day. Yes. But what's inside is like they made it a home. Yeah, right? Of course. And so where they are in Lima, it's like very dusty at the top of the mountain, right? So it's always like putting water on the floors and but yeah, back then it was very different. So the friend I was with, she was a little bougie. Like she if you want to talk about like a girl that's from the city, she was from the city. She was like, I don't do this. I'm not going to do this. But there's a thing with like certain homes in Peru where there's no toilet seat. Yeah. I'm a big girl. Yeah. This photo needs I need a seat. Yeah. Right. I cannot be squatting.
Yes. Yeah. In the hole. Over the hole.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. But they had a toilet, but it was just like, they had so many chickens back then that there was chickens on the toilet. And I was like, oh my gosh, excuse me, trying to like pee. I was like, excuse me.
Cluck, cluck. Right? I need
bog.
Yeah, bog over there, honey.
And then they only had a tarp to close the door. So I had my friend like holding it closed. Yeah. And I was like, okay, gotta pee really quickly. And then she couldn't use the bathroom because it was too much chicken. It was like insane.
Yeah. She was like, I'm pee shy.
Right. She was like, I can't do
from
these
chickens. Like,
yeah, it was intense.
So
but
she had an eye-opening experience as well.
Mm-hmm. It was intense, but it was even more eye-opening. Like, wow, like, okay, so this really is why. It's like one thing to see like your mother kind of beat up, right? Because you don't you can see it, right? But then to have the visual and set foot in the place of like, okay, this is why we move this certain way. The same way like you're in New York City, like you always are on point. Yeah. Right. you always have to be aware of your surroundings. But down there, it's like intensified.
Yes. You didn't stay with your family then. You're like, I'm going to come and see, but then we're going back to the
Well, yeah,
hotel.
because the program director was like, you have to come back.
Yeah, like this is like, I'm going to lose my job.
Yeah.
Letting the girls go to the
I
hood.
remember though, I did, there was this thing in Miraflores and like the really nice part where we were staying called paragliding, right? You know what paragliding is? You jump off the cliff, you hold on and somebody's behind you. And like, the thing's here and you just go. So there was that. I remember I called my mom here in the States, Deborah, and I called her. I was like, all right, I'm about to go out. She was like, where are you going? I was like, I'm going paragliding. And she was like, what? I'm like, jumping off a cliff. And she's like, Elena! And I hung up.
A mother's worst nightmare.
Yeah. And I survived. I'm here.
Yes.
It was beautiful. But it was stuff like that I enjoyed doing. Even till this day, I like to be on adventures. I like to just, where's the flow? I want to go that way.
Yes.
And
oh my God. That's why I think Libras too are just
air signs.
We're both Libra ladies. Shout out to
Josie.
I'm a fly by the seat of my pants type of girl.
Yeah.
Same. It's sometimes a little dangerous.
It is a little dangerous.
But
it's fun.
It's so fun. And I'm definitely that friend who will be like, okay, come on, let's go. Let's do this.
I feel like though as when I became a mother, so I became a mother very young. I got pregnant at 19. So it was like the things that I love to do, I no longer could do because it's like, damn, I can't just, do XYZ because I have a kid at home. Right.
Yeah.
But as she's getting older and I'm getting older, I'm like, okay, I have a little more.
Yes, it's kind of coming back because our girls are the same age. And now we're like, wait, we back outside.
Outside.
So that trip was when you were like, what, 16, 17?
Yeah, so that second one,
then
I was like...
So then you had your baby. Mm-hmm. And then have you been back
since?
Yes,
I've gone back and forth since.
And then did you bring your baby?
Yes, I brought my baby in 2019, right before the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she was like about 9 years old, 8 turning 9. And I think it was an eye-opener for her.
Yes.
Right? And... like where we come from and to be grateful for the things that we have.
Yes. Yes.
But she was, my brother had her on the back of his motorcycle going up the mountain. And I was like, oh my gosh, my baby.
Yes.
And he was just like, no, she's with me. But when I tell you, like, I truly believe in good men, it's because I know good men. It's because my brothers are such good men. Like, we're all flawed, right?
They exist.
Like this last time I was there, I didn't bring my baby, but I had princess treatment the entire time. I was watching your stories. Mm-hmm. You have mad brothers. I know, right?
Right? And I was like, okay, they're cute brothers.
Oh my gosh,
I saw
everybody.
I saw the girls, the DMs. They were not them trying to holler at your brothers.
They were trying to adopt. Y'all boosted their egos. It's too much. Yeah.
They look so cute. It looks so fun.
Yeah, and they're not just like, they're not just handsome men, but they really are good men. Yeah. They are really like funny and they're very adaptable and they're very just like, they want to make you laugh. They want to have a good time.
I love that. I feel like that's so Indian too.
Yeah. It's
just like that Indian humor. There's nothing like it.
We're all, and you know what's so funny?
And the laughing is medicine for us because we are a lot of times in these situations living in crazy situations.
Yes.
And how have we survived all this time through genocide and fucking capitalism and colonization is through laughter.
Yeah. They're the professional hilarious
comedians.
People.
The most funny. I always say that about Oklahoma too. The funniest people I know are from back home, quick-witted.
Yes. It was funny because this time my brother who was adopted before me, his name is Mike.
Yeah.
He came back with me.
Where's he at?
He lives in Washington State.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. And he is, so this was only our second time meeting. I had just met him last year in July. I was in Portland for a conference for adoptees actually. And he was like, I only live 20 minutes away. I'm in Washington. I'll come meet you. And our mannerisms are so in sync. It's insane. Insane. But this trip really, truly healed something for me. Like, I feel like because I had a baby young, because like I missed out on a lot because of being a mother, a lot of my male trauma was not healed, right? And then I also met my birth dad on this trip. which I honestly, maybe I'm still processing, but I don't really know. But I feel like I didn't even need to meet him. That is how much my brothers have collectively healed me.
Wow. So your birth dad is still in the picture with your mom, or they just know each other?
They're acquaintances.
Okay.
I think there's so much trauma for her to unpack there. But my brothers, like, they'll say, we love him because he's our dad, but we don't like him.
Yeah.
And we don't respect him.
Yeah.
And I get that.
Yeah.
But it's so crazy because I didn't need to meet him. And I feel like a lot of the times, for women, I feel like we need other women to, like, feminine energy. We need feminine energy to heal, right? But for me, that wasn't the case. But there's something about the protection that comes with having brothers, because I didn't grow up with that, right? There's something about the way that they all handled me, including Mike. Like, and he and I are so much alike. And I wonder if it's because we're both from here, that it's like our humor is like, the sarcasm is different.
Love that. And I think too, because you have been surrounded by strong, beautiful feminine energy, that as sorry to get all astrology on us all, but we are Libras.
Yes.
And the balance of the feminine and the masculine is so important for us. And you were getting that for the first time.
Yeah.
And
ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Not even from relationships, not from my father here, but from my brothers.
Yes.
And I really...
You felt secure and taken care of.
I feel like, and you know, there's always these like stereotypes of like how men are, like, they only want women to cook, My brother woke up every morning to make me papaya juice.
Yeah, that's how my brother is.
And it's just like, my other brother would massage my ankles. Like, I had like hurt my ankle, like walking up the mountain.
Because one thing about Peru,
there is mountains.
There's a mountain, honey, but the stair is an actual mountain. Okay, tell me, why are the stairs so steep?
I don't know.
On?
So there's a theory.
Because, honey, the Peruvian girls are not tall.
They're not, so we're not.
And my legs are little. I'm giving Peruvian person. So when I was in Peru, walking down in Cusco, right?
Oh my gosh.
What's going on with the stairs? And is it just like time? It's just gotten like the step.
So so I went to Bolivia 2 years ago. In Bolivia, I went to Isla del Sol. Same thing. Big stairs. I've only been to Cusco once.
Okay.
But
same.
Big stairs. And what I was told was that it's because the Inca people
were tall. That's what I was thinking.
Or
because my people were really tall. The Egyptians were really tall, like 7-8 feet tall.
Yeah, and so that's what they say. They say like not just the Inca, but like all of our ancestors were really, really tall.
Yes.
Because I remember there was one step, like huge. I'm 5 feet tall. So I had to like throw my body and roll to get up the step. I was like, what is happening?
Meanwhile, Cusco, I was literally panting. I couldn't breathe.
Oh, you want to talk about altitude and elevation?
That's what I was going to ask you about on all your trips. When you were 15 going, did you have the altitude come for you? Because it came for me.
No, I mean, it comforted me. It didn't come for me.
Oh, no, I was laid out.
So I have really broad shoulders, and this heart
the lung capacity.
Was meant for it. Like,
you were born.
Yeah,
you're like, meant for this.
At 15, at 15, I was running up the steps. Like, we were in Puno.
Okay, that makes sense.
Running. I had so much fun. I think that was the best I ever felt. And that was the first time I felt like I could actually breathe.
Yeah.
Like, I guess it's like living here, so fast paced, everything's flat, you know, we got the trains, we got bad air,
Yeah.
But to go there, and I had traveled to different countries before that, but to go there in high altitude, I felt for the first time like I can breathe on my land. Yes. Like, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. And the same thing happened. Well, not in Bolivia, it's a little higher, but Puno's pretty high. Puno's about 13,000 and 300 feet above
What's
sea level.
Cusco?
Cusco is like 12,000.
Okay.
12,000
so
feet
Puno
above.
was higher than Cusco.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing. They're like, we're gonna stay in Cusco and then we're gonna go into the Sacred Valley.
Yeah.
And it's lower elevation.
Yeah.
So you're
a
chill
little
down there.
Yeah.
But you know what I think got me the gag is that when I got to the hotel, beautiful hotel, and I was like, oh, let's go to the steam bath. We got the leaves, the coca leaves.
Yes.
They're like, chew on this. Bitch, I was like a horse on the leaves because I was like, okay, I need this. But you know what I think messed me up is that I went into the steam bath and it was amazing and got like, it was insane. I think I dehydrated myself, which in altitude and
It's not
high
good.
elevation, you're already, and flying. So you're already that.
Yeah.
And then I just sweat out and it felt so good with the eucalyptus and the coca and the everything. And then I was like, wait, I'm feeling sick.
I don't feel great. Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, you pussies. You guys need some oxygen. We're gonna bring you some oxygen.
Yeah.
So they're like, bring the oxygen to the ladies. Meanwhile, I think I was also casually smoking.
Oh my gosh.
It was on a job. I was like on a photo shoot. So
Right,
it was
right,
also
right.
we're with like, your friends and doing that. So casually smoking is also probably not good. But I do remember that. But it was one day and then I was fine.
Right,
I
right.
acclimated,
Yeah, I feel like
rehydrated my body.
what people don't understand is that you have to practice. So my brother, when he came, we flew from Lima to Puno.
Yeah.
So what a high elevation. And I told him prior to us even going to Peru, I was like, Mike, practice like holding your breath and then just holding it and then letting it go as much as you can. He was like, well, I don't need to. And I was like, I don't know if this actually works, but like, but I need him to understand what it, like you need to learn how to breathe like fully.
So that was his first time.
It was his first. This is his second time going back to Peru, but the first time that he can really remember. The last time he was like 12 or something.
Okay.
So it wasn't like a big thing to him back then. But this was his first time being around the entire family.
Yeah. And was he adopted by white people too?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So then did he do the exercises? Was he struggling?
He was struggling. I love you because I'm going to send this to him. But he was struggling.
You were struggling, bro. Wait, what's your brother's name?
Mike.
Mike
does not listen.
Don't try to play Mike. Always listen to your sister. Why exactly? See, she was right.
I was right.
So he was struggling.
He was struggling.
And now, what did he do for the struggle? Because I was like,
he just endured it. Like, I mean, we were all.
Did you chew on the leaves?
Yes, we had a lot of coca tea.
Yeah. Yes.
Mate de coca.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think. And it's so funny when we landed in Puno, we were in an argument, and by the time, I'm not going to get into it.
True brother and sister style.
It was like our initiation to like seeing how we are as like
and traveling together.
Yeah, and this is our second time meeting.
Yes,
that's it.
Because not everyone's a Libra that can just be like, oh yeah, okay, da 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 da.
Yeah, no, I am
People
not
are
a type
bad
A
travel.
Yeah, I'm not a type A personality at all. I'm like I'm a type W for whatever. Like
same.
But yeah, like we got into it, and then I went into the bathroom, like at the airport, and I was like, okay, bitch, I can feel the heaviness. I didn't even feel this heaviness when I went to Bolivia, which is higher than Peru, but I felt it in Puno. And I was just like, okay, you can't be angry and out of breath. Like you have to choose a struggle. So I had to let it go.
Yes.
We laughed and we got over it. Actually, something beautiful about that moment was like, that was our initiation to like really getting to know each other. Because remember, we're still getting to know each other. And I think something that stuck out for me on that part was like, he was like, Elena, I can't help you if you don't tell me what's wrong. I have your back. You just have to talk to me.
Yeah.
And I've heard that so many times in my life from men.
Yes.
And I've been like, oh, well, you should just know. But
because we're Libras, that's very Libra.
Like I will figure it out.
We don't want it, for us to be vulnerable in that way and admit that we need help and accept the help. Mm-hmm. I just did that like last year.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
I've been trying.
Shout out to my man.
Shout out to your man.
I finally accepted I was vulnerable. And so that's such a Libra thing. And it's that's our only thing. It's just like, we're hard-headed. We don't want to be down. We don't want to not be able to do something when we can't. We don't like to admit.
No.
So yes. So
yeah. And then we got into it again. And then, but you know what's so beautiful is that after he said that, I was like, shit, okay, like there's something about me that I have to go inward with. That like towards the end of the trip, I was like, well, can you tell me like something that I did to bother you? And like, he was like, yeah, well, this bothered me. And I was like, okay, well, this is my love language, is you telling me like I hurt you, and me being able to say like, give me a second. Cause nobody likes to be wrong. Nobody likes to be called out, or even called in. So we all jump to defense. It's not like about anything else except nobody likes to be wrong. Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, sometimes it just takes me a second, but like, that's my love language, is you telling me how I can love you better.
Yes.
How I can honor you better. Like, you're my brother, and I will do whatever it is like to change my ways with you. And that's how I see myself in relationships too. So if you're single,
bitch,
single.
I was gonna say, I saw yesterday on your stories that a man was not picking you up from work, and that you have a problem with that. And she's single.
She is single.
And what is your type?
Apparently the wrong one.
You know what is this like, we love, we want to fix people. We want to help them. We love a codependent relationship.
Okay, hold on.
But I don't, because I've learned, because I'm healed. Ish.
Yeah, right?
But yeah.
Well, I actually don't want a codependent. I want you to have your life. Yes. I want you to have your friends, your life, but be committed to me, stay loyal to me, be honest with me, communicate with me.
But also give me my space.
Give me my space. I'm an only child.
Yeah.
So again, like the Peru trip was very hard because now I'm sharing a room with everybody.
Yes.
And I don't have my own space.
Yeah.
But I kind of loved it because I was like, oh, this is what it's like to wake up.
With
everybody. Yeah, it was so beautiful. But yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, and then it's also funny because just to touch back on the healing process with men, I confided in Mike a few things about my relationships, and he was like, "Oh, I don't like that." Yeah, no, let him. I'll beat him up. And I was just like, oh wow,
yeah.
Mind you, these are people like from my past, but like,
yeah,
I'm just like, I was confiding a little bit, and I was like, wow, like there's somebody out there like who like genuinely loves me.
Yes.
But yeah, and it's just nice to know that was there. And so I think meeting my brothers, like having them all together, not meeting them, but having them all together was like really healing.
Yes.
So in my search for love now, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love
But they've set the bar higher.
They've set the bar higher.
And that's very important because the bar should be very high.
The bar now is very high. You are
an amazing woman. You're the whole package. You're the whole package, mama. So yeah. And the men in the world.
Yeah. They don't deserve us. No.
Some of them really don't. And
no, but I see the way that you talk about your man, and I see the way that you light up when you talk about your man. And that's what I'm looking for.
Yes.
Like I don't ask for anybody to be perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you have a type of guy? Like, I mean, we're Libras. We love beautiful people. We love a pretty face.
I love a man that can just make me laugh. I also like that leadership mentality.
Same.
I love a man
Tell me where, when, why,
but also like there's a difference between leading and controlling. Like if I'm just naturally ditzy, don't try to control that. Like you're never going to be able to. And if you get mad at that, like I'm so sorry.
Because we're Libras, we're naturally ditzy.
I cannot help you. Like we're just going to have to break up because I'm just going to fall everywhere. Like that's just I will say the last guy that I dated really was kind of like that. He was kind of like he was the provider and leader in my life. And unfortunately that had to end, but
how do you, so I met my man.
Mm-hmm. How do I meet the man?
I met my man on Tinder, girl. So we always say we found love in a hopeless place. So there's hope, bitches.
Okay. Well,
bitches and hoes.
How do I meet them?
Do you meet them IRL? Do you meet them online? Are you online?
I am online.
So you can...
However, I usually meet them in real life. And I say this because as a big girl, right?
Yes.
I feel like pictures sometimes make me look smaller.
We
And
know the
I
angles.
don't want you to get the wrong idea.
Yeah.
I'm a big bitch.
Yes.
I need you to love the fupa as soon as you see it.
Okay, baby. The BBW
Like,
plus plus plus.
I just need you to understand that sometimes the belly's gonna be bigger than the butt, and that's okay. Like, but it's fine. Like, I need you to love you. I just need them
and
to
the
love
men
it.
do.
They do. They do.
Too.
But I feel like a lot of the men that I've met in the past, they've been like, I think I've met them all in real life. I think I've only met one online, and he pursued me.
Okay.
But and he knew what he was getting. He liked big girls. So he also want to make like the differentiation between like the BBWs who are like just really big titty and then really tiny waist, not skinny, and then really big hips. And that's
not the BBL girls.
Yeah, but those are the kind of guys, when they say BBW, a lot of times that's what they want. They want like they just want a heavier set woman with a tiny waist.
Yeah. And
I'm like, no, baby. When I say BBW, I mean like just the
waist is big too.
Yeah. big waist.
Big, big.
Yes, bitch. That's
big waist.
That's it. I can't. That's all it is. And
facts.
But I feel like the last guy I was with, he really like empowered me to come into my body and like accept my flaws, and he really cherished me.
Yes.
So it's like, again, like this last couple years have been about being vulnerable and meeting, again, I want to bring it back to meeting my brothers, just because I cannot express how much they have had such an impact on me.
Yes.
The bar is high.
The bar is high. And I want to go back to your body image.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Because for me, it's definitely a continuous work in process. I work in fashion, so I've been surrounded by the most beautiful women in the world, the most beautiful,
which you're one of,
bodies. Thank you. And when I say the most beautiful women, the most beautiful bodies, I'm talking about the European standards of all of that, right? Our whole life, we've been surrounded by these, the European standard of what beauty is, right? And it has, I always was kind of like, oh yeah, and I love beautiful things. I love beautiful women. I get it. I'm not a hater. Like, I'm not jealous of that. But you have to be honest with yourself too sometimes. Like, oh, I do wish it was easier to buy clothes sometimes. I do wish indigenous designers designed for
I wish all
5X.
I wish all designers designed for
literally all designers.
Up to 6X and beyond. Like, because so I have been on, I don't want to say a weight loss journey, because the intention is not to lose weight, but it's to feel good.
Bitch, same. And that's also why I love you on your stories, because I feel like we both started doing the Stairmaster at the same time.
I hate that bitch. I hate that bitch.
She's evil.
Stair peasant.
She's evil and was created by the patriarchy. Fuck her. Fuck the Stairmaster. Girl.
I can't talk about her.
She gets you right, but it is so hard. And I do the same thing. I love sweating. I love feeling. I love that feeling. Like, I love leaving the gym feeling that. It's getting there that is the hard part for me. Yeah. Getting there is, once I'm there and I'm like, ooh, I'm in it. I love it.
Right. It's the hard part of getting to the gym.
Getting to the gym is the whole thing.
Hate that feeling.
So when I see your stories, it is about feeling good. And then with that also comes, whatever you lose pounds, you look great. Like, you just feel,
and it's not
feel good.
It's not so much, like I said, it's not about the number on the scale. It's just about the number of times that I smile at myself and say, like, you did that.
Yes.
Right. And it's
self-care.
Yeah, it's self-care. And a lot of it is also,
but people, because of our size, would think, oh, you're trying to lose weight.
Right. Or they're trying to be more healthy. And it's also like, I'm not just walking like for just health, but it's also not for physical health, but it's mental health.
Yes.
So We have kids.
Yes.
And being a mother is really hard. And sometimes I don't want to walk across the bridge like 20 times, right? Sometimes I just want to do the mile on the treadmill and call it a day. Sometimes I just want to lift up weights instead of grocery bags. Like, if I have time, like that's what I'd rather do. And yeah, I'm also not looking for a man at the gym. So my focus, because first of all, they cannot see me at my worst. Okay, you cannot see me sweating, like dying on the machine, like that. You
but
cannot
I feel
see
like
me that
some
way.
guys, I mean,
no, they do.
They love that shit.
I've been approached, and I'm just like,
or like the guy just staring at you, like, I'm like, yeah, what?
I want to be like,
but it's. It's always when we look what we feel like is the craziest.
Yeah, they love it.
It's always the craziest. My hair looks wild, like
sweatpants,
it's always,
hair tied.
Oh yeah, they love that shit.
Yeah.
So, you're not looking for a man at the gym, but if one approaches
me in the most like
in the right way,
meaning like you approach me when I'm not on the Stairmaster,
sweating, fighting for my life.
Yeah,
please.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm more so right now just focused on me. Like, yes, I'm out there, but I'm more focused on me. And like,
yes,
maybe
it's not a place to me. I 100%. It's just like, you don't want that. You don't want that. And then imagine dating someone that you go to the gym with and you have to fucking see them.
Right. Because hold on, like and then there's the girls who have like the BBLs at the gym already. And I'm like, I'm looking like, I know you're gonna like, if I'm like, wow, look at her, I know you're saying, wow, look at her. And I know it, like, for men, but I feel like it's a different type of thing.
Not all men do love the BBLs.
Right.
Like,
not all men.
We
right?
love
That's
the
true.
BBLs.
Mm-hmm.
I love the BBLs. When the BBL girls comes to my gym,
I don't know. I don't got no.
I live because I'm like, yes, bitch. Like, where I'm like, oh, I need to Stairmaster some more.
Right. I also never look because I feel like there's so much like surrounding the gym life now where everybody's recording and I'm like, oh, you're not gonna catch me staring and put me in a video.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like gawking, but I'm like, okay, right. I see the BBLs.
Yeah, I'd be
girl.
looking like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Let me keep going.
Yeah. But yeah, so there is that. But there is someone that will love you for you, love you for your body.
Yeah. And I've had that. I've had a man love me at my biggest. I've had a man love me at my smallest. And I had a man love me before I even had all these issues with my own body. And I feel like issues isn't the word because it's not an issue. It's just an insecurity, right?
It is. It's just an insecurity.
Because like I recently, but before I went to Peru, I lost 25 pounds.
Work.
And then when I was in Peru, I lost 10 pounds. And that's literally just from clean eating. In Peru and walking everywhere. Oh,
not eating this trash American food?
Yeah, what kind of food is this?
What is it? Like, what really is it? Like, what really, like,
because the food back home is always going to be top tier.
Yeah.
And then when I came back, so 2 days after I came back from Peru this time, I had gallbladder removal surgery.
Cool. We love that. I wanted to talk to you about that.
We love a gallbladderless queen.
Because I almost got my gallbladder removed. One doctor was like, yeah, get it removed. And then another doctor was like, you don't need to get it removed. And I didn't get it removed.
So while I was down there, I saw the tea. It's called chanca piedra, right? And it's supposed to help with your gallbladder.
Yes, gallstones.
And something in me told me to get it. But I was like, eh. So a couple years ago, I had the gastric lap band removed. I got it in when I was 23.
Okay.
22, 23, something like that. I had it in all up until 2 years ago. Now, that's like almost 10 years with...
Wait, what is the gastric? That's the one that around your stomach?
Yeah, it goes around your stomach.
So you eat less?
Yes. And you have to go to the doctor every couple months and get the saline put into the port. I couldn't do it anymore. And it was just like, it worked in the beginning, but I was 23. I was going through a separation with my daughter's father. I was in school. I was working. I was, my postpartum is postpartum. Like, I feel like people think it's just, 6 months after the baby's born, 2 years after the baby's born. She was like 3 and I was like starting to kind of feel it. Like, I was going through so many transitions and my mom here, white Jewish American mother, I love her, but this is where like I feel I needed more care from her. Her standards of beauty are very different than what I found beautiful.
Yes.
And so she kind of pressured me. She was like, you should do it. And I was like, fine, I'll do it, you know. And then I started getting...
paying? Mama's paying?
Yeah, it was covered. It was covered by insurance. Oh, right. So, and during my pregnancy, I gained 75 pounds.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was a lot. But what I think she didn't realize was, like, I was going along with it because I thought it was going to be like, okay, all I got to do is this. I can handle it. No, like, I needed therapy and a hug. I didn't need
gastric
lap band. Yeah, like, insane. So I had it in. It worked for about a year. So
you just eat less.
You basically can't eat.
You can't even eat.
So what was happening was that...
how was that? Because I love to eat.
It was awful. Think about all the favorite things you like to eat. You can't eat them anymore.
You can have one bite.
No, you can, have one bite, or you can eat them and then you can feel sick right after. So that's what was happening to me.
Sick? Oh, no.
You can throw up everything.
Oh, no.
So that's what was happening to me for years. Like, I would eat something and then, like, I would just throw it up, like, maybe like 30 minutes later.
No.
Yeah. In 2019, I was like, all right, but after we come back from Peru, I'm going to get this out. But then the pandemic happened. So
wait, how many years did you have it?
Or you had it for a year? No, 23 to 32. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe around that time. 23.
And then every month you had to get shit injected in you?
Well, yeah, I stopped going because I was.
Oh, you stopped getting the injections.
Yeah, I was like,
what do the injections do?
They just put the saline into the tube.
See, I don't know anything. So there's a tube involved.
There's a tube. So it's like, and I remember thinking to myself, I want to get something in my body that I can take out if at any point I didn't like it. That's what really sold me on it.
Okay.
I really wanted to be like, okay, if something in my body needs to come out, it can come out.
Oh, amazing.
I didn't want to do the sleeve. I didn't want to do anything permanent.
Yeah.
But so then that process happened like 2 years ago. And the guy I was with at the time, he really took care of me. He was coming before work or after work every day to check in on me.
Oh, wow.
He was bringing me food, making sure I was eating, because a stitch got caught to a nerve.
Oh, my.
And I could not move for like a month.
No.
And then I was supposed to go to Bolivia. And I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to go to this trip to Bolivia because I can't move. But then I remember I just sat down one day and I heard the snap inside. And it was the stitch. And I was like, oh, wait, I can move. And yeah, it was an amazing moment.
Okay, so the stitch just like absolved or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be in there, but chilling.
it's in there parlaying with the other little
chilling.
Stitches.
Yeah, she's
with
fine.
The intestines.
Yeah, she's good. She's doing her thing.
I wanted to talk to you. One of my favorite shoots you've done is the shoot in the gold dress. It is so beautiful.
Shout out to Brittany and shout out to Ellie.
Yeah, I just saw it. It was recirculating again. Urban Indigenous Collective reposted you for
shout out to Urban Indigenous Collective.
Women's Day. Yeah, shout out to Urban Indigenous Collective. How did that shoot come about? Because I love that. Shout out who shot that. It was great.
So my friend Ellie is an amazing photographer. Ellie's like a very young photographer. I don't want to say very young, but she's a young photographer. Yeah. She shoots amazing portraits. She knows a lot of people. And then there was this photographer I've always loved. Her name is Brittany Bravocado on Instagram. And she shoots a lot of Indigenous women.
Ooh,
and
love.
I was just like, with like the long braids, and I was like, wow, this is gorgeous work. Never thought she would ever find me or reach out to me or anything like that. But Ellie made the connection. Ellie was like, oh yeah, like my friend Elena, you should reach out to her. So basically Ellie was the plug. Ellie is the plug.
Shout out Ellie the plug.
Ellie.
Let's go.
Ellie La Flor, de la Flor, I think on Instagram. Oh my gosh.
So shout out your socials and everyone can actually go see those.
Right.
What is your
so my social on Instagram and all platforms is Brooklyn Warmi. And
Brooklyn Warmi. Warmi is, what does Warmi mean?
Warmi is woman in Quechua.
Yes, my Quechua queen. What's the future hold for you? What's happening? What are you planning? What are you cooking up for us? Because I know you're cooking up something.
I am. So right now I'm trying to work on a book release. So here's the thing. Social media eventually will be banned one day. And that's what I believe, especially under this
regime.
I was going to say administration, but that sounds better.
Yeah.
I want something tangible for our future children to have, our future community to have. So I'm putting together kind of like an art style book of modern day Andean people or Andean descent people. And I also want to verify that does include people who identify as Latina, Latino, Latine, because a lot of people assimilate into the Latinidad culture when they come to this country, right? But they shouldn't be excluded because their ancestors are from these places.
Yes.
And some people are literally like, they came here and Latinidad was welcoming to them, so they took the label. And I'm not going to fault anybody for that. There's a lot of people who don't like that I accept people who use the I'm Latina conundrum.
Right.
But I feel like there's so much grace to have for people because we don't know where people come from.
Exactly.
And I have a lot of grace for people who don't understand or who weren't taught.
Yeah.
There's people who come here and
you have like firsthand experience in this.
And I've probably considered myself Latina for like a year or two, but I wasn't like Latina mommy, no, like none of that. It just, again, I feel like the way that I look and grew up, like people who were Peruvian, Ecuadorian, Bolivian, Colombian, whoever, looked very white. And I would be like the sore thumb sticking out in like that room of people. And I just didn't feel like home.
Yeah.
But then as I got older, and the person I am today, I'm like, I get it. I get why people are the way they are. Obviously genetics play a huge, genetics are just funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want to make this book for everyone, for everybody who's Andean, or has Andean ancestry. And I want it to be showing people, modern day people, like representation, right? And I do want to clarify that representation will not save us, but it does something for your mental health when you're looking through pictures like, oh yeah, I could do that. This person's doing that. Or maybe I'm not where I want to be, but this person's exactly where I am, right?
Yes, that is so important.
And I want people to just feel good about themselves. So I'm looking to put together a catalog of Andean people who are models, or not professional models, just regular, schmegula people, right?
Yeah, who want to be
photographed.
And now who's photographing? Who's the photographer?
So
do you know yet, or can you?
I do. I have a
that?
couple in mind. So I'm going to be going to different states throughout Northern America. And I want to touch base with different communities in. Well, obviously New York. New York showed out. I put a poll up and I was like, yeah, I can't. The whole book would just be New York.
Like, done. Here we are.
But it's going to be New York.
Sign me up.
Right?
Sign me up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was New York, New Jersey, Chicago, Cali, which includes LA and Oakland, Florida, Chicago, and Wisconsin. So yeah. So
and those all have really big Andean communities.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Love.
And there's a bunch more, but for now that's where. Oh, and the DMV. And so, but for now that's where I'm going. So I have a photographer.
Exciting.
Yeah, I know. I don't think it's going to happen. Like the entire finished project is going to happen for another 2 years.
Yeah,
this is something that's really intentional, that I really want to take my time with, that I see myself like, putting in. I would love to have these books be in museums, right?
Yes.
Like, so, because we are part of history.
Yes.
We're walking future history.
Yes.
And I want people to see us as like we're still here.
Yeah.
And 300 years from now, or maybe not that long. Who knows what will happen to the earth? God forbid. But
Mother is tired of us.
She is. She's said, y'all gotta go.
Yeah.
But 50 years from now, like I want somebody to say, oh wow, look at this book. Like
I 100%
like this.
That's also why I'm doing this podcast, is to amplify and show our beautiful community here in New York and beyond.
Yeah,
I interviewed an artist from Tulsa, from back home, from my tribe last week. And it's something that we will have forever. These oral, we're from an oral tradition. Our people, right?
Yeah.
We're orally, that's how we share our stories, our history with each other is orally. And so I want to carry that on, but with us as modern day Indigenous people and showing like, this is amazing. Someone can do this.
Yeah.
Someone can do this. I took a Greyhound bus to New York in the year 2000 to be a fashion celebrity hairstylist. Like, who does that? You know what I mean? Like, I did it.
And somebody else will.
I did it.
Because they see you do it.
That's right. And so that's why I want to just have something like this, a podcast. You can see us, you can hear us. And technology is, a double-edged sword.
Right.
When it's used for the good, it's so powerful. The information is there. I'm learning how to podcast through YouTube. If someone anywhere in the world can see us, two fat brown femmes serving cunt, maybe they can be inspired and motivated to do whatever they want to do for the day. Yeah. So that is so powerful for us as a people. And for me right now, it is literally my therapy. I should be in therapy. This is my therapy.
I love that.
Listening to you talk, listening to me talk. The world is trash.
The world is trash
right now in this time of Donald Trump.
Who's that?
Yeah, exactly.
Who is he?
Exactly. Dump Trump. And so for me, this is my way of survival mentally. And I am like so happy that you came here to be on my therapy journey with me.
Well, thank you for having me. Yeah,
this is very much that. It's a passion project. I don't know where this is going to go, but for me mentally, I need this right now. And also just even thinking of it, like, oh my God, thinking of you coming in, thinking of Miss Josephine and Jaden and Urban Indigenous Collective and like Relative Arts, like, we have such an amazing community. How did you find the New York community? Yes.
And I have been going to Randall's Island for Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yeah.
For a while, and I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. But
yeah.
Because it, again, like, and this is no shade to any northern tribes or anything, but it's like, the customs that are in South America are not the same customs, right?
No.
So like our dances are different.
Yeah.
And then I loved it because it was like the closest I felt to feeling like I had other Indigenous community around me was that day, seeing like a bunch of different Native folks, right? But it was like, okay, but the dances aren't what we dance back home, which is fine, right? Because we're in the North, right?
Yeah.
So I expected, but I also feel like it was the way I was able to see so many faces that were like very much like mine.
Yes.
And I was just like, this is beautiful.
Yes.
And to see people in their in the regalia and just owning it. And I was like, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
And then
there is something to be said about seeing yourself represented.
Right.
Which is
why I stopped going for a couple of years, because I was like, all right, like there's no dances from Peru. Now there are. Now there are. Last time I went, there was people from Peru doing the scissor dances.
That's right.
Yeah, danza de tijeras. And yeah, it was beautiful.
Amazing.
So yeah, it's coming slowly but surely.
Yes. All the Indigenous people are realizing, wait, we are all brothers and sisters.
Right. And that was
North
something
and South.
I felt a lot of though, because I did meet some girls in college who were from northern tribes. Yeah. And I thought I literally looked, I was in awe of them. They were so beautiful to me. I was like, wow.
Yes.
And I was like, hi, where are you, like, where you guys from? Da-da-da. And they were just like, oh, well, yeah, but I didn't know like there was like natives and so. And I was like, oh, okay.
Hell, yeah, exactly.
I'll just move over.
Which is such an American thing too, because they don't know either.
But that doesn't make me like, obviously feel any type of way. Just some people don't know. Yeah. And it's fine. But there was, but it's from my own people. So I remember also being in college and I saw this girl and I thought, wow, she's really pretty. I want to be friends with her. Like, she's so pretty. Yeah. And she looked at me. She was Peruvian. She was like, we're not from the same Peru. And my heart broke. That hurt more than anything. She was lighter.
Bitch.
But I was just like,
you're like, actually, no, we're not. Bitch.
I had no comeback. I was just stunned. I had no comeback. I was just like, what? Okay.
So she was like, what would that be? Like Lima? Like she's from the city?
Yeah, she's from the city. She's what we call Limeña. But like all of Lima isn't just that. But like, there's like a certain type of people.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
the cultured.
Okay. Yeah. I had no comeback. And usually I'd be like, the fuck?
Yeah.
You know,
I'm good at code switching.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I'm good at code switching, right? We still have to do. And you grew up with white people, so you know the fucking vibes, right? You're in Brooklyn.
Hello, how are you? Oh my gosh, are you having a great day? Yes, I speak English very well. Thank you so much. Thank you for noticing. Wow, thank you so much. Yes. Girl, you don't even know how many times people have asked, oh my gosh, like, how do you speak English so well? I'm like, bitch, how do you?
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. Because when I tell you so many times, it annoys me. It annoys me. I mind you, when I came back from Peru this last time, actually the last 3 times I went to
You're
South
like, bitch,
America.
I don't even speak Spanish.
Right.
So,
like I'm not even fluent like that.
Yeah.
But when I'm back in Peru, I be quick. I be quick.
I live.
But yeah, coming back the last 3 times from South America, I got stopped. I've been stopped every single time. And I think what saves me, unfortunately, is that
what do you mean, like stopped at the border, stopped at customs?
Yeah, stopped at customs.
Yeah.
This last time I got detained, like they were searching my entire bag. They were like, I think he thought he was gonna catch me, and I think because he looked at me, he was like, "Hablas inglés?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
But because I sound like a pissed off New Yorker, like he's like, okay, like
this.
So
right.
It kind of saves me that I don't have an accent.
Yeah. Jewelry line is called Brooklyn
Warmi, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's basically.
And if you have not seen the jewelry, it's amazing. And it's all sold out. And so you can't get it. So when it's time. When she's back,
come back. Yeah.
When she's back, it's so.
Yeah. I definitely created it
Gorge.
for the Andean diaspora who didn't feel represented here in the North and who couldn't find community.
Yes.
And also for my daughter and she's not into her identity as much as like we are as adults, but who maybe, and there are kids who are.
Yeah.
Right? There's Afro-Indigenous kids who definitely are. Yeah. Especially from South America, Latin America, like who want to find people who look like them. And so I did it for them, myself, like, everybody. Like, I just want people to feel like there's a home here too. Yes. There's a home for your displacement. There's a home for your decisions. There's a home for people who look like you and who represent what you also lost.
Yes.
So.
And the design too, the way it is the perfect mashup of indigenous South American design meets Brooklyn. Hardcore, like the gold.
Baby, we're all gold.
The designs, okay. Honey. I know. I wore my gold for you. I was like, let me wear some gold for my
nails are not done. I was like, oh, that's why my hand's been here. But yeah, like I started off doing working with brass. And then brass turned to like, oh, how can I find somebody to help me like make these like rapids? Because I can't, I work 2 jobs and I'm a mother, right? Wow. And I'm a caretaker also for my parents, like to an extent. My goodness. So yeah, it's like a lot.
That's a lot, Elena.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like I couldn't just keep hand making. It couldn't be my full-time thing.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately we live in the capitalist society and it's a blessing and a curse to live in New York City. It's a blessing and curse to be.
100%. It's a scam. New York is a scam.
Yeah, it's definitely a scam. But I definitely feel like.
But we love it. And that's why we're here. But oh my God, it gives you this inspiration, but it also takes it away and stomps on it. Yeah. And makes you humble.
I feel like city kids, urban natives, that we grow up so much faster and so much differently than the rest of the world. Like,
and 50%.
It's just, I feel like we have such a mentality, the way that we act, the way that we talk, the way that our entire aura is different, right?
100%.
And is, as great as it is to be a city native, an urban native, it also feels like unless you're an urban native too, you won't get it. Yeah. Like, you won't get it. Like, if I,
No, oh my God. People do not understand
If I say, like, bitch, let me tell you something. Yeah. Depending on the tone of my bitch, that could be a whole fight. Or it could be an embrace of love.
And you know, the saying, and I say this all the time, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah.
Because what we have to do on a daily basis. To survive is wild. And what we
survive the trains, survive the MTA. First of all, you know I'm scared of bus drivers.
Mama.
They
try to kill you.
They try
when they pull off.
But I'm also like,
and they'll try to run you over.
But also, I get scared if I'm like short a few cents. They'd be like, get off the bus. I'm like, okay, don't worry about it. I get off the bus. I don't care. I'm not that New Yorker that's like, I said what I said, because I go in and I'm 5 feet tall. I'm 34. I cannot run the way that I used to. Maybe when I was little, I used to do it. But as an adult, I'm like, you want me off the bus? I'm only short like 50. It's happened. They'd be like, you can't come on. I'm like, can I get a refund? Like, give me my money back.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Oh, bus drivers. That's not cool. Girl, let the people on, honey. We're just trying to make it home, make it to where we got to go.
Yeah, but I definitely love I don't want to say I'm thankful for adoption, but if I had to be displaced, if this was my chosen path by the universe, then I'm so happy it led me here. I'm so honored to be able to say, like, I am from Brooklyn. I have a Brooklyn upbringing. And
you're very few and far between these days.
Yeah. And it's, you know, I hate that I had to leave my home country, right?
Yeah.
But I also know that survival here and survival there, it's all survival. And I want to honor my mother by just saying, like, she did what she had to do for both of them. Yes. For both of them. One had to lose, one had to gain. And one, you know, my mom here, she had to lose the ability to have a child to gain one. Like, it's just a give and take. Like, energy is such a give and take of things. And it's not again, for the adoption community, it's not to say I'm thankful for adoption in and of itself.
Yeah.
But for my story in particular, Deborah has loved me. Soyla has loved me. And it is just a mother's love.
You're a benefit.
Yeah.
You've benefited from both moms.
I have two really good moms. I have two women who respect each other.
Yes.
Who respect and honor each other. Who respect and honor me. Yeah. And two strong women who would move the earth for me.
Yes.
I have a sister who is the sweetest woman in the entire world. She's feisty, but
of course.
But she's the sweetest mother. She's a mother herself. She's like a sweet mother. She's patient with her kids. She's kind. She's very intelligent. I have the most caring brothers. Like, my story is not a lot of the ones that you're going to hear. But yeah. I'm grateful it's mine.
You are a very special person and a beautiful woman. And I have to say, I am like honored that you came and sat on this couch with me and dealt with me trying to figure out what I'm doing.
Fast learners.
And it was honestly, like, I am just in awe of you, and I cannot wait to see what else you have coming up, because you're going to do big things. You've already done so many amazing things in the community, for the community, and now for the world to see. Thank you. I love you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. I love you. Thank you for having me.
Oh my God. I have something for you. I have some little skin dialogue.
Oh my gosh.
I have some little eye patches for you because I love them, and I wanted to give you some. Not that you need them because you're snatched. But there's these little eye patches, and these skin dialogues are great.
I love a good eye patch.
So yes,
there's some self-care.
Thank you. Yes, more self-care coming our way, 2025. Because they're trying to take a bitch down.
They are, but it's not
but
working.
We ain't going anywhere.
And she looks. Don't she look great?
We ain't going nowhere, honey. We still here. We still tea.
Her to clock that tea. Oh my gosh, fucking.
Oh my god,
14-year-old
girls. This is what happens when you have kids, you guys.
Clock that tea.
All right, we love you guys, and thank you again for tuning in to another episode of Let's Have a Powwow podcast. Thank you, and good night.
Good night.
Okay, y'all, I produced and engineered this episode all by myself. There are a few hiccups, but we made it work. The intro and outro song was made by Jason Guitano, and the logo design is by Daniela Ritku. If you would like to ask a question, please leave me a DM at Let's Have a Powwow Pod on Instagram, and we may read it aloud in a future episode. Take care of yourselves, and thanks for listening.